That's brilliant, Rachel.
Yeah, yeah. I wish there would be more. Um, that sort of leads me to talk about parent engagement. And I know that in some schools who do introduce learning through play, there can be some pushback from parents, which is in some ways why they need to be educated around the benefits of play. How do you work with leaders to encourage them to engage parents in the learning at home? Because it would seem to be that, or seem to me that everything that they're learning through play at school is so rich and rewarding. And to share that with parents would just be amazing. And for that to continue at home, especially the language they're using and the different ways that teachers are, I suppose, assessing their learning and really identifying what they are actually learning so that it sort of breaks down those misperceptions around play.
Yeah, absolutely. We know so much from research now that that strong, effective partnerships between schools or services and families is fundamental and makes a huge difference for every child in their own learning. And if we think about it, sort of happens on a continuum, obviously, if you think about relationships and a really close partnership with families, you would see similar practices and values being upheld at the school, but also at home, around play and some of the same language, or, there would be this shared understanding about some of the concepts that the children are learning and exploring so that they could be doing them at home and sharing it with their parents as well would be amazing. But on the other end, of course, you would have the divide where families and schools don't really get along or see eye to eye, or they're not working together. And I think it can be really easy to fall into the trap of blaming, that if families are not supportive of a program, well, that's their fault. Or if they're not, supporting the program by way of making sure their child is at school, or they have the materials they need, or whatever it might be, they're questioning you as an educator. It's, I think we can sometimes just go, well, they're being really difficult. Or, I have worked with schools that'll say, well, we can't do a play-based approach because the families don't want it. And I understand that, and I fully respect every family's wishes because they are their child's first teacher, and they are fundamental to every child. But we also need to work with our families. So it's always about building those connections and getting to know them, really getting to understand who they are, but also what they value. And again, it's really important, I think, for educators and schools